Support the programs you love and wear your Mississippi pride on your sleeve, literally, with the new merch on the MPB shop. Check out our latest drop with apparel from your favorite TV and radio shows, both current and throwback, featuring fan favorites like Next Stop Mississippi, Southern Dish, Ampton Wired, and more. Every purchase you make supports MPB. Visit mpbonline.org and click the shop button at the top to show your support today.
School choice, rural hospitals, voter access. The 2026 Mississippi Legislature will impact you and your family for years to come. MPB brings you At Issue, a weekly analysis of the legislative session and the issues affecting you with perspectives from both sides of the aisle. Brandon Jones and new At Issue analyst Rebecca Staples join me, Wilson Stribling, every Monday at 5 p.m. only on MPB Think Radio and wherever you get your podcasts. MPB, your stories, our mission.
It's darkness on the Delta here on Monday afternoon, Deep South Dining, MPB Think Radio, Malcolm White with Carol Palmer. Carol, how are you?
That's great. It's great to come in with Darkness on the Delta. Willie Morris, Charlie Jacobs, Duff Duro. That was Willie's theme song.
Absolutely.
And we had a little darkness on the Delta this week.
Yeah, we did. We're going to talk about a trip we made up to Cleveland, Mississippi for the Delta Supper Club in the second and third segments. We're also going to talk to our great friend Marisol Doyle of the Lena Pizza and Bagels in downtown Cleveland, where we feasted on the Saturday morning after the Delta Supper Club. But before that, I wanted to talk a little bit about a trip I made last Monday. I was out, and you and Joe
we filled in the best we could, and I have been waiting, so excited to hear all about this trip. So let's hear it.
So it was a two-part trip. I spent a few days in Bay St. Louis, where I had a place for 18 years. And then I moved over to Ocean Springs on the other side of the coast for my quarterly Walter Anderson Museum of Art board meeting. But, of course, what I'm always focused on is what I eat along the way. So on the Saturday night when I arrived in Bay St. Louis, my great friend Sally Killebrew Holworth met me there. And our third wheel was Estes Key, another great friend.
He was a great third wheel for us when we went to Ireland many years ago.
2007, I believe.
Yes.
We went to Ireland. But anyway, so Estes took us to a place. Like I said, I had a house in Bay St. Louis for 18 years. I never heard of this place, S&B's Grill. S&B's is in Waveland on Sears Avenue. And it's been there for a million years, and I never knew about it. If you're driving on Sears Avenue, it just looks like a beer joint on the side of the road. It's that and more. It serves, we had crawfish pistolets, fried trout, we had shrimp po' boys, they had stuffed crab, barbecue shrimp, and they do a blue plate every day. Besides the seafood menu at night, they boil crabs, they boil shrimp, and I saw there was a pork chop.
Amongst the seafood.
Amongst the seafood, there was a pork chop served with butter, beans, and rice.
Oh, man.
I love that. But if you...
I want to hear about the crawfish pistolet.
It's a pistolet.
Indulge me.
Okay, it's a small, as you know, a little French loaf.
Little roll.
A tiny French baguette miniature called a pistolet. It is slit open and stuffed with crawfish dressing, and then fried, and then cooked. And so it's really crispy and hot on the outside.
It sounds almost like fritter-like.
It was fritter-like, and it was really good. So that was a place I wanted to tell you about. Also in Bay St. Louis, there's a new restaurant, Anthony's. I've talked about it before, but I'd never been. Anthony's is an upscale, white tablecloth, fine dining establishment. It is a part of the Trapani's family empire.
I guess Tony Trapani must be Anthony.
That's right. Tony has passed, but the restaurant is named for him, Anthony's, and it is a really delightful place in downtown Bay St. Louis. We had brunch there, the trio, Estes and Sally and I, had a delightful meal. There's an oyster appetizer photograph somewhere, Marissa, it's a plate of fried oysters on a bed of a really cool sauce. If you stumble into it, great. If not. But that was the one photo I took at Anthony's. But we had a great meal there. The brunch was terrific. And then the next day for lunch, we drove into Gulfport and ate at Tavi's.
And we had the folks from Tavi's on maybe a couple of months ago.
Yes, we did. And
had Salamaria.
Tavi's Salamaria in downtown Gulfport. All imported.
Or is it Salumaria?
I don't.
We don't know.
Well, it's a sandwich place in downtown Gulfport. And anyway, so I met a group of friends there, and we had this fantastic meal where they just kept bringing food out. We didn't even order. They brought sandwich after appetizer, and it was just terrific. All of their foods are imported. Everything comes from abroad to New Orleans, and then it's brought over to Tavi's.
And mostly Italian.
Yes, but not all.
Some Spanish.
Yeah, that's right. Really great place. I posted on Cooking and Coping and on my site as well. But anyway, if you haven't tried it yet, you got to do it. In fact, there's two great new places in downtown. Tavi's been there for about a year. The other one is Robert St. John's Downtowner, where we had breakfast the next morning. Breakfast, terrific, pancakes, hash browns, eggs. We met Lynn Blackwell from Perkinston for breakfast there. And then I had a meal in my little hometown of Perkinston, population probably 150 people. They've opened a restaurant in an old house there called Perk House. And
how clever.
It's very clever. And they're also a breakfast and lunch place. And so there I had a BLT on Texas toast and a burger, and they get a special grind of meat. It's an 80-20 brisket and some other cut of beef. They order it special. But anyway, they do a great job with their sandwiches and with their breakfast. If you're ever in and around Perkinston,
so
stop
now
in.
You're going down 49 and
you cross Red Creek.
Okay.
And it's your first right.
Okay.
It's the Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College exit.
Okay.
And that's
when I grew up, we just knew it as Perk.
Perk. That's right. And that's so downtown Perk, the one establishment is the Perk House. So you have to stop in sometimes and give it a try. But anyway, we had a great visit down on the coast, spent some time here and there. But another item I wanted to touch on, Carol, is that this is National Hot Dog Month.
I know. Well, for us, it's always Hot Dog Month.
Remember, we were up in the Delta seeing all those jacks?
Yes.
There's about 6 or 7 new jacks in the Mississippi Delta.
And why Malcolm is mentioning this is because we were kind of talking about Conecuh sausage recently, and we found out at a place named Jack's they do a Conecuh sausage hot dog.
That's right.
And we were both commenting that we had never eaten at Jack's. So here we are, we're boogieing up Highway 49. We come over the hill in Yazoo City, and there is a brand new Jack's. Then boogie on to Belzona. Bam. Jack's. Indianola. Jack's. And Cleveland.
Jack's.
And we still never had time to go, but they were advertising a lot of catfish sandwiches we noticed on the marquee.
But Jack's is a southern drive-through. It's a fast food southern drive-through, and
we're thinking that one person must
probably owns all of those.
Just plopped
because they're all brand new.
Brand new.
Brand new, like mushrooms after a rain. All right. Okay. It's National Hot Dog Month. It's also National Pickle Month, which of course,
which is your favorite month?
Always makes me happy. And speaking of pickles and pickling, here in the studio we received a gift bag from our great friend Simon Smith.
Yes, he's one of our new friends, but he's a great friend, and we hope he's a long-term friend.
He's
9?
He's 9 years old. He wrote to us and told us about his produce venture that he had this summer, growing and selling produce. And lo and behold, Simon, we reached out to his dad and mom, Jill and Ruffin Smith, and said, can we get Simon on the show? And a few months ago, through the miracle... Weeks ago? Okay. Through the miracle of radio and Marissa Vaughn's great producing, she ran him down, and we got Simon on the phone, and he told us all about his...
he had a lot of confidence.
Lots of confidence.
A maturity on the radio.
And here's a picture. As we were in the Delta this weekend for the Delta Supper Club, we bumped into Simon's parents. So this is Jill and Ruffin Smith with Carolyn and I, and she said, did you see the package that Simon sent? And I had not, because I was out of town.
And because I'm such a friend, I held it back.
Held off.
I didn't want to open it without you.
And we got a note from Simon, and so this is what it said. Dear Mrs. Carroll and Mr. Malcolm and Mrs. Marissa. Miss Marissa, sorry. Thank you for having me on Deep South Dining. I enjoyed visiting with you about my summer produce venture. Here are a few of our pickles and squash for y'all to snack on. I hope you enjoy. Thanks again for having me on your show. Your friend, Simon Smith.
What a great kid.
Great kid.
What a great guy.
And they live up in
Yazoo.
But he goes to school at St. Andrews
here
in Jackson. So he's a scholar as well as an entrepreneur.
And pickle maker.
Pickle maker. And he made us also some
and
sweet
Simon,
pepper
if
jam.
you're out there listening, Malcolm is an amazing pickle maker as well. He loves nothing more than making a bread and butter pickle in the summer.
I love pickles.
Refrigerator pickles. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
you're
indeed.
even going to the Pickle Fest as usual.
I do go to the Pickle Fest. We didn't go this year. It passed a few weeks ago. We missed it. My grandson, he didn't feel like going this year, he said. But I took both grandkids last year. We had a delightful time. Okay, so today we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we have two very special guests who are going to join us via Zoom, and we're going to talk about both the inaugural reboot of the Delta Supper Club, and we're going to also talk about Lena's Pizza and Bagels. But Carol, you have something you want to share with us.
I have a quick little something to share for all you foodies out there. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, July 21st, from 7 to 9, there is a preview screening at the Capri Theater in Jackson of Tony. And it is about the life of Anthony Bourdain, the late beloved Anthony Bourdain. And the Mississippi Film Society is presenting this. And the screening is going to be followed by a special panel conversation with local chefs about the impact that Anthony Bourdain had on their life and work. And I know Derek Emerson, I know Enrica Williams are going to be a part of that. But Anthony Bourdain changed a lot about the food world with his book, Kitchen Confidential.
And later, of course, his expansive career.
His career of travel food shows. But tomorrow night at 7 at the Capri.
Hey, Marissa, can you pull up the photo of the Jim's Cafe hot sauce, the 2 bottles? Do you have that one?
Are those the ones that look kind of like whiskey?
There it is right there. So our great friend Mike Wagner was at
Two Brooks Rice.
Right. He was at the Delta Supper Club, and at the end of the evening, he came over and handed Carol and I these 2 jugs of Jim's Cafe hot sauce. Jim's Cafe closed recently in downtown Greenville, or it is about to close. But Mike scored a couple of these jugs. It's in a whiskey bottle and a wine bottle, but that's not what it is. It's hot sauce. It's Mississippi Delta hot sauce. Have you tried yours yet?
I haven't.
I put it on fried chicken the other day, and it is delightful. It's got a great burn and a beautiful sweet subtlety on the front end. But thanks to Mike Wagner always for being our friend and being wherever we go and being omnipresent.
He is. And Mal, before we go to break, I think we should also mention that on our journey, we were seeking out hot tamales.
Yes.
And in a very roundabout way.
Well, we specifically started out. Yeah.
They were closed.
You have a favorite place in Indianola?
Yes, at Pea Soup Lots.
Pea Soup Lodge. Lots. Lotts.
These were for my husband, and not to disappoint him.
We just kept looking.
We kept looking, and then you put in your Google tamales near us. Right. And it led us, we thought we were going into Yazoo City, but
no.
Off at Highway 3.
Industrial Drive.
Through an industrial park, which turned out to be Haley Barber Drive.
Right. And it had a roundabout.
Yes, and I was saying, this was a mistake. There is nothing here.
We drove past it.
And you said, turn around. We turned around, and we turned down a little gravel road. Lo and behold, we were at Thelma's River Bend. And not only did they not have hot tamales, they've never had hot tamales, but they had some of the finest soul food around. And they smoke on Saturday. So we had smoked chicken, smoked ribs. It was phenomenal.
It was good. It was a great soul food find.
And I was telling some friends this morning about it, and one person from
There's
Louise
a picture
said,
of Thelma's.
There's Malcolm in front of Thelma's kitchen. But it was a
That's
great
before
find.
I ate. Afterwards, I'm a lot larger.
Yes.
But anyway.
But anyway, anybody traveling around that part of the world, stop by Thelma's.
All right. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, we have two great friends, Chef David Cruz and Chef Marisol Doyle from Cleveland, Mississippi. And we're going to talk a lot about the Delta Supper Club and about Lena's Bagels and Pizza, which is just winning award after award after recognition after recognition. So that's a beautiful thing. Short break, more Deep South dining just around the corner.
At the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience in Meridian, we believe in the power of the arts, storytelling, and education, just like Mississippi Public Broadcasting. MPB connects communities across the state with quality programs that inform, inspire, and engage. Their audience is loyal and appreciative of businesses that support public broadcasting, which makes underwriting on MPB a smart investment. Join us in supporting MPB. Learn more at mpbfoundation.org.
School choice, rural hospitals, voter access. The 2026 Mississippi Legislature will impact you and your family for years to come. MPB brings you At Issue, a weekly analysis of the legislative session and the issues affecting you with perspectives from both sides of the aisle. Brandon Jones and new At Issue analyst Rebecca Staples join me, Wilson Stribling, every Monday at 5 p.m. only on MPB Think Radio and wherever you get your podcasts. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Support the programs you love and wear your Mississippi pride on your sleeve. Literally, with the new merch on the MPB shop. Check out our latest drop with apparel from your favorite TV and radio shows, both current and throwback, featuring fan favorites like Next Stop Mississippi, Southern Dish, Hampton Wired, and more. Every purchase you make supports MPB. Visit mpbonline.org and click the shop button at the top to show your support today.
41. All
And
right.
Daddy still calls her baby.
That's the only thing to call your baby.
Hey,
Carol,
friends.
Hey,
how y'all doing?
good.
We've got we've got David Cruz and Marisol Doyle on Zoomerama, and we're so glad you're here. And we had such a good time with you guys up in the Delta this past weekend. We thought we would just keep it going and have you on this morning to talk a little bit more. Well, it's not this morning; it's this afternoon. To talk a little bit more about the goings on. And Carol, you have.
Well, I'll start the
go ahead.
zone. We were David Cruz, Chef David Cruz, longtime friend. First of all, Malcolm and I want to sincerely thank you for inviting us to the Delta Supper Club. I mean, what an experience. I've always wanted to do it. I almost made it to the Greenwood airplane hangar and got sick at the last minute. But I thought we'd start by you telling what the origin of the Delta Supper Club is and just, paint the picture for all the people out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Delta Supper Club started about 12 years ago with an idea. I was traveling a whole bunch and would go, everywhere from Oregon to Alaska to New York. And when people would find out that I was from the Mississippi Delta, it was always negative. There was never a positive side of it. And so one day, Stuart Robinson, who is one of the original founders of Delta Supper Club, and we got to be friends, and we were talking about how can we share the culture of the Mississippi Delta. And then it just kind of came out, hey, let's hold a dinner. Let's do a throwback to the 70s and 80s when there were supper clubs, where everybody got together, and it moved from place to place. And people would bring dishes, and it was more like a family style. So let's try to recreate that, but let's have it as a cultural exchange. Let's go find a chef from outside of our area to come in, and we can show them our Delta, and then they can also bring their culture and their food with them. And then let's invite a lot of people. And of course, it was it was a leap of faith, to say the least, the first one. We didn't know if it was going to make it, if it was going to be success, if we were going to fall flat on our face. But our first one was a huge success. And then we were off and running all the way up until COVID.
Well, Marisol's nodding her head here, but we've got to tell people this is not a supper club at a house with 10 people.
No.
Tell how many how many people generally come to these clubs?
Yeah, so usually we like to keep it a little over 100. We've gone as big as 200. The one at the Greenwood Airport was 202 people. It was awesome, but most of them are between 100 and 125 people.
I heard that the Greenwood one sold out in like 3 minutes online.
Under 4 minutes for 200 tickets.
Yeah, that's like waiting in line outside of Lena to get a bagel.
Yeah, exactly.
In 100 degrees sun.
So I know you have different chefs that you feature.
Right.
This particular event was a chef out of Mobile, Alabama, Chef Jim Smith.
Correct.
And his restaurant, Hummingbird Way Oyster Bar. And he did a fantastic job from where we were sitting. And seemed to be a good fit. But Marisol, I was wondering, have you ever participated as a chef or on the culinary team for these suppers?
I haven't participated as a chef, but I've gone to most of all the supper clubs. I missed the one in Greenwood too. And I would help out serving. They do Delta Supper Club that would do like family style meals. So we would have servers, and we will come up and bring the dishes, put them in the on the tables, and just get to talk to people and try the food. That was the best part.
Yeah. And I know, just like this weekend, that your husband, the famous photographer Rory Doyle, was all over that. I guess he must be the official photographer of the Delta Supper Club.
I believe he photographed the first supper club that was outside of Cleveland, at Dockery Farms, and that was my first also like supper club experience. I was able to sit down with other people visiting from Jackson. I remember And like that's the beauty of Delta Supper Club. You get people from all over, and you get to experience this, the food and all the people and like all the chefs. Yeah, not as a chef, but I really enjoyed serving people. So.
David, Malcolm and I have known you for a long time, and one of the things that both of us know about you is you come into something so organized. I remember you bringing students to Southern Foodways Alliance and helping feed 300 people. You kind of mathematically break it down, or that's how it looks on this side. But I wanted to just tell our listeners a little bit about how it was set up.
Yeah,
and
the execution,
in
the
our
setup.
careers, we have been to a lot of dinners. And you started at that thing started at 7 and went through all the courses by 8:30. I mean, it was not rushed at all, but sometimes those things last for hours. But picture this, there were 3 8-foot tables per row. Is that right, David? Or maybe 4?
So there would have been 6
Okay.
8-foot tables in 3 rows.
In 3 rows.
Right.
And in the
Right.
center of each 8-foot table, it was like a little stump, a log.
Right.
About 8 inches, 9 inches
serving
high.
stump.
Yeah, a serving stump. And for each course, we would be served a beautiful platter that we shared with, our table. So people took what they wanted. They fought over the lady peas, but it
And
was
the
a
cane
wonderful
syrup.
way to do it. And this particular one was at your facility.
Correct.
And a great benefit of that was having the kitchen out front. I mean, the plating area where people could walk up and watch. I hope Marissa's going to show some of our slides. Could actually watch you and Chef Smith and your helpers plate.
So, the kind of the goal of when I built that facility was exactly what we did, was so that, people could watch it. I mean, experiential dining is the new thing. People want to be entertained. I mean, the food is part of it. But being an entire dining experience, like it was the first time that we've done one in front of people. So, it's one of those ones, the margin for error is 0 when everybody is watching you. It's kind of like Marisol's place. If she drops a pizza, I mean, everybody sees the pizza and you have to completely start. So you have to be methodical. You have to be well planned. You have to be on your game at all points in time.
Well, the food was terrific. The festivities were very entertaining, and I love being at the big tables and passing the food around. The family style thing really, really, really works. There's nothing better to start a conversation than, "Hey, would you like another biscuit?"
Correct.
And oh, by the way.
And oh, by the
Who
way,
are
to
you?
have the biscuit as the first course. So talk to us a little bit about that biscuit, because it was fine.
Buttermilk biscuit.
Yeah, so when Jim and I first started talking about him doing it, I told him, historically what we do is we have one wild course, we have one approachable course, we have one heavy course. So it's kind of one of these ones where a little bit of everything is planned. And when you go to Jim's restaurant, the first thing you get is biscuits, kind of like, Italian places do, bread with, olive oil, where you get biscuits. And then we were even talking, one of my favorite, like Ty Timms, who's one of my best friends that's been at every supper club that we've done, you can get bread and butter service at his. So it's one of those ones where, exactly like Malcolm said, it's an icebreaker. It's, something approachable, something that everybody's going to love. And then it also gets the conversation going of what the meal's going to be. Because, as y'all see, nobody knows what the meal's going to be until you get there.
Yeah, and the biscuit, big shout out to the wonderful butter and the dark cane syrup that was also
Yes.
passed around. But Malcolm got really excited early on the biscuits because of the crunch.
Yeah, I ate 2. Should have eaten 1, but I ate 2. I got excited. I love the crunchiness. some biscuits are soft and gooey and blah, blah, blah. But I like it when they're real toasty and crunchy like that. But
that was perfection. And Malcolm, how about them fried chicken livers?
Chicken livers were delightful. And, that's one I would imagine that a lot of people think, oh, I don't like chicken livers. Or, I mean, you love them or you don't. And so I thought that's kind of an interesting choice because there may be a few people in here who don't eat the chicken livers.
Well, that's the wild one.
Right.
It's I always have each one of the chefs. I say, hey, what's something cool? What's something out there? Like kind of thinking back, Michelle Bernstein did a squash blossom that she stuffed with shrimp and grits and then deep fried.
Ooh.
So it's one of these ones where you've got to have that one wild. And she also did sweetbread tacos.
So how does one talk Michelle Bernstein into flying into Cleveland?
I called her and asked.
Good going.
Good indeed.
Well, I'm not scared to ask, and a lot of people try to beat around the bush. And I just, if there's a chef that we would like, I find a connection and just call and ask. I mean, the worst somebody can say is no.
True enough. So let's go through the other courses just so we can tell people, we can brag about what we ate. And
we've been bragging.
So we're down to the third course here, and this was the Mobile Bay white shrimp with the aforementioned lady peas and the Chilton County peaches, bacon, and crab relish with a basil puree, which is a lot, but it was really perfect.
I'm hoping Marissa can root through there and find the picture of that
of the shrimp
that shrimp course.
She's rooting. She's rooting away in there. Tell us a little bit about that dish.
Yeah, I mean, so when Jim and I were sitting there talking, he wanted something to have shrimp, but he didn't want to have the same shrimp that everybody else does. So what we ended up doing is poaching him in butter. So literally, we got sweet cream butter. We poached all the shrimp in the butter. And with the lady peas that y'all were talking about, the anise flavor was what was I don't even know how to describe it. It was so awesome, but it was not what I was expecting. And then you follow it up with the peaches and the crab and the bacon. Right. It was one of those ones that hit all those salty, sweet, sour kind of notes all at one time.
Well, the people at our table were obviously all big foodies, and everybody took out their spoons and tried to scrape the puree and the lady peas. We kind of looked down the table like the Steve Azar table, and they were talking. We almost snatched their pan. I mean, we seriously thought about it, but.
And you kept a half a biscuit for sopping.
Yes, Malcolm kept saying, "What are you doing?"
I just ate 2 biscuits. Carol
and I said,
saved a half.
I'm holding on to this.
I said, "What are you going to do with that biscuit?" She said, "Sop."
Good call.
Yeah, good call.
All right, let's see. What about it? Then we get into the hanger steak. And the miso English pea puree. It's just the okra was terrific. I don't know if we have a picture of all that, but it was another great course.
The one thing about hanger is you've got to sear it hard. You've got to leave it rare to medium rare. If you get past medium rare, hanger will start to get tough.
Right.
You got to make sure you're cutting across the grain. But that was probably my favorite dish of the night. The people in the back, the kitchen killed the steaks as fast as we could cut it. We just had to say, quit eating it. And then the okra was just that char on the okra kind of just set it off.
Another cool thing is the Mississippi red pepper sauce.
Yes.
They are a sponsor of our show, which we're thrilled about, but there was a little tiny bottle in front of everyone's place.
Yes.
And there was some hanger sauce dipping going on, a little splash of it here and there. Yeah, some people tried it. So I thought that was very cool.
There was also several bottles of this Rosedale Distillery bourbon being passed around up and down the tables. I haven't had it because, I haven't had it. But that's a new enterprise, right? That's in y'all's part of the world in Rosedale where is it like Cathead? It's a full-blown distillery?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I got to meet Jack Coleman and his wife, the owner of the distillery. I got to meet them last time well, at Supper Club, so hopefully I'm gonna get over there and see what everything's about. I hope it is. I mean, the more awesome things we can bring into the Delta, the better.
Yeah.
And that would be such a win for Rosedale.
Yes.
Yeah. Marisol, do you know much about that distillery?
Not a whole lot. They just had their ribbon cutting a few weeks ago, and I've heard of people that they've gone to the distillery. You can have some samples. I know that they want to get into the liquor stores. And but yeah, not a whole lot. I'm not a bourbon.
So there's no bourbon flavored cream cheese going to be on your bagels.
Maybe. But I mean, they're great. He's the mayor of Rosedale, and he's been doing, from what I heard, a really good job trying to bring businesses into Rosedale, and they want to revitalize the area.
And I think they moved in from New York. I mean, somewhere. I mean, I know they have a connection, but they moved from
Texas, maybe.
Texas,
somewhere out there.
Okay.
Okay, David, we talked about the origin of the Supper Club, but this Supper Club really heralded a change in purpose for you, or a new element. So why don't we talk about that?
Yeah. So in early 2025, I kind of made the decision that post-COVID, we never really did much with the Supper Club. We tried to make a comeback a couple times and just could never catch the fire that we had. And I was sitting in church, and the preacher preached on Matthew 25:35, which was, I was hungry and you fed me. I was a stranger and you invited me in. And it clicked. I was like, that's what we need to do with Supper Club. We need to not only have the parties that we've had, and we need to take the funds that we're raising, and we also need to feed our community. And so that's what we've started. So it's now the Delta Supper Club Foundation. We're still doing the same parties that we've always done. The main difference is the next day, we do a pop-up and we feed our community. So we all met downtown Cleveland after this one, and we fed about 250 people. A beautiful dressed salad, panzanella, with grilled chicken and a basil yogurt sauce. It was fantastic.
And this is free to the community.
It was absolutely free to the community. Basically, we used the funds that we made on the Friday night dinner to support our Saturday mission. And our goal, long-term goal, is that we have the ability to help people with food insecurity, but also help build community from within, if that kind of makes any sense. I had somebody ask me a couple days ago, what are we going to do with the funds that we raise? And my answer is, we're going to feed people in the Delta. So that's kind of the way to describe it. And of course, our big thing is we're learning. We ended up, Marisol and my wife were taking lunches all over the place in downtown Cleveland because people wanted to come, but they couldn't get out of the actual business. So they were going business to business, can we get people? And then we had a couple preachers that stopped by and said, hey, I've got some shut-ins. Can we take some with us? And we were like, absolutely. So we were able to really reach out and feed a lot of people.
That's great. I mean, anytime you can have a good time and do good too, I mean, that's the complete and total circle as far as I'm concerned. All right, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with both of our guests, Marisol Doyle and David Cruz, two chefs in their own right, living, working, and producing in the Mississippi Delta, both highly successful entrepreneurs and creatives. So we'll be right back. We want to remind people that the Deep South Dining podcast is brought to you by Mississippi Red Hot Sauce. Discover more at msredpeppersauce.com. We'll be right back with more Deep South Dining.
together through the years, together in the future. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bobby Rush. As a blues man, I love Mississippi Public Broadcasting. If you support Mississippi music and their local programming, donate now, right now, and become a member today, not tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Doesn't matter how big or small, but we prefer big. Thank you very much.
At the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience in Meridian, we believe in the power of the arts, storytelling, and education, just like Mississippi Public Broadcasting. MPB connects communities across the state with quality programs that inform, inspire, and engage. Their audience is loyal and appreciative of businesses that support public broadcasting, which makes underwriting on MPB a smart investment. Join us in supporting MPB. Learn more at mpbfoundation.org.
Welcome back to Deep South Dining. Malcolm White with Carol Palmer. We are glad you are here. We have two guests today who are zooming in from somewhere in and around the great Mississippi Delta. We have Chef David Cruz, who has been sharing a lot about his project, the Delta Supper Club, and we have Chef Marisol Doyle of Lena. It is a pizza and bagel joint in downtown Cleveland, and they're both, I will tell you, David, the Farm Rose and Marisol, your restaurant, Lena, both are fabulous venues. They have such great vibe, and they're just great places to gather. And I'll tell you, we've been very impressed, Marisol, as you guys rack up the awards early on in your career there at Lena.
Well, I remember, Marisol, y'all opened 2023, correct?
Yes, we opened at the end of April in 2023.
Well, I actually counted the number of awards that are posted, and there are 33 awards, international awards, national awards, regional awards, best pizzeria, women in pizza, but you really have gotten a big one lately, haven't you?
Yes, well, thank you for doing that. Rory always tells me I need to add that to my resume, and I keep forgetting. Yeah, we went to New York in May for the 50 top best pizzerias in the United States, and we ranked number 9 in the country. And in June, at the end of June, we went to Milan, and there's this other award. It's called the Best Pizza Chef Awards, and that's given to the chef. And this is my 3rd year going to Milan and accepting this award in person. And we I ranked number 48, which is wild.
That is one. Last year you were in the 70s. I mean, it's amazing even to be in the top 100 in the world. Yeah. But Marisol, I went on the website and looked at these awards. I mean, it was like the Academy Awards. I mean, big glitzy gala with screens, and I didn't really count, but 2/3 of the winners, at least 2/3, were Italian. And yes.
Yeah, it's just you're there, and then you get to see all these people, and to come from a small town in the Delta, Rory and I are always like thinking, like, what are we doing here? Like, who came to our restaurant? Who nominated us? Like, and then they were showing up the numbers on the big screen, and like where last year we were number 77, and my photo didn't appear. We were joking. We were like, "Are you sure we're supposed to be here? Like, are you sure? Did you get the email?" Like, or it was like, "Are you sure? Like, you got the email?" Like, and it just kept going up and up. it's just, we're just grateful just to be there, just to be invited. And I'm never gonna understand why. We're just gonna be there and gonna go there and just have a good time.
Well, David, I think you and Malcolm and I understand why she's there.
Oh, absolutely.
The pizza is absolutely phenomenal, but we have to stop right there because all these people are going to run over to Cleveland today.
Yeah,
And
that's not how it
open
works.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings, right?
Yeah, so we're doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday for pizza from 4:30 to 8:30, and the first Sunday of every month from 4:30 to 7:30, and then bagels on Saturday mornings from 9 a.m. until 11:30.
Well, let's talk about that 9 a.m.
Well, let's talk about, yes, because it's like trying to get in Galatoire's on the Friday before Christmas. You got to get out there and get in line and wait. And
your husband told us, Rory said, now get there by 8:40.
40 at the latest.
So we were
he said.
having coffee with our friend Nan Sanders, and at 8:20
across the street at the little coffee shop.
Yeah, it's Zoe.
It's a very nice
and
little place. Zoe.
Malcolm at 8:20. Now it's already over 90 degrees. Okay, at 8:20, Malcolm says, "I'm going to stand in line." I'm going. We don't really need to go for 20 more minutes. So when I got there at 8:40, there were already 30
There's a photo
people.
of the line
Yeah,
here
we'll have
somewhere.
to. There were already 30 people standing on the sidewalk in the 90+ degree heat, waiting for bagels.
There we are.
Yep. There we are.
In downtown Cleveland, waiting for a bagel. Who would have thunk it, David Cruz?
I love it.
We also have the farmers market going right now, and it's right across the street from Lena. So that brings a lot of people that go to the farmers market, get their shopping, local produce, and all that, and then they come to Lena and have our bagels. So that helps with the line.
Yeah.
Well, the bagel was actually the first dough you started working with. Is that right? Do I remember that correctly?
2016, my friend Kate Bachman and I started doing bagels at that farmers market, and we were renting kitchens and at restaurants in downtown, and we kept doing it every summer, and until we did we moved to Clarksdale, and we condition a restaurant. We brought it up to code and everything, and we did it for a year during COVID, and she had to move away, and then I brought it back to Cleveland with pizza.
Well, it's just really extraordinary. But I remember that you are from Sonora, Mexico, or is that right?
From Sonora, yes.
And how do
Sonora.
you bring that culture into the pizza and bagel world?
In the beginning, I wanted to have a Mexican pizza in my menu, and that's what the Sonoran, we brought it to our menu with refried beans, chorizo. So all like ingredients that I remember having as a kid, and that would bring me joy. I tried to bring it to my pizza. So in the beginning, I was trying to have it on my menu, but now I'm doing the last week of every month is special. That is with Mexican ingredients. So I've done from like barbacoa. I've done like the refried beans with chorizo, and I just try to add a little bit of that, and while doing it, it just brings memories growing up in Mexico. So.
Well, my breakfast had a sausage and egg with a vodka sauce. It was really great, and on an everything. And Carol, you had...
I had the smoked salmon.
Yeah.
It was absolutely delicious, but you call some of them breakfast sandwiches. It's not just getting a bagel. I mean, you can get a bagel, you can get a breakfast sandwich.
Yes, we have our menu. You can get, half dozen bagels, a dozen bagels. You can get a bacon, egg, and cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese. You can get a bagel with cream cheese. And we have a variety of cream cheeses available. Just like our menu, our pizza menu, it changes every week. I do like different flavors of bagels like every week, like cheesy jalapeno cheddar or a red chili parmesan. For sweet bagels as well, like this past Saturday we had orange cranberry, which is very, very popular. So I just keep changing our menu for our customers. They really like that, and keep it fresh, and that's what keeps them coming back.
Yeah, it's terrific. Hey, David, I wanted to ask you, we just have a little bit of time left. The dessert, using green tomatoes and making a cobbler, that one, my mind and my palate were confused, but man, was it good.
Mine too.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so Jim and I got to talking about it, and Jim, kind of like me, is a research nerd, and he found an old cookbook from his grandmother that had a green tomato cobbler in it. And he said he decided to try it one day and served it, and he didn't tell anybody what it was. He just made it and served it, and everybody fell in love with it. And when he asked me, what do you think about it? I was like, absolutely. I mean, it's perfect for what time it is.
Right.
Tomatoes are perfect right now. Why not figure out how to utilize some of the green ones? And if I'd have closed my eyes, I would have promised you I was eating an apple pie.
An apple, absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. For David and Marisol, we are grateful for what you do and for including us in that. We want to, again, thank Mississippi Red Pepper Sauce for sponsoring our show and our podcast. And we want to remind you that Deep South Dining is a production of Mississippi Public Broadcasting's Think Radio. We are funded by generous contributions from our listeners, and we thank you. Our show is produced by Marissa Vaughn. For our guests, David Cruz and Marisol Doyle, and for my co-host, Carol Palmer, I'm Malcolm White, asking you now to please stay tuned for At Issue up next. And join us on Monday at 4 p.m. and Sunday mornings at 9 for more Deep South Dining.